great deal today. Right now, financing at $5,550 in total values on the 2021 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab. Total values include combined cash allowance and 2300 Bighorn Level 2 package value. Package value based on combined value of individual package items. Financing for well-qualified buyers through Chrysler Capital. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by 8/31/2021.
Let's deal you in, PA. The World Series of Poker Real Money mobile app by Harris Philadelphia is now live. Download the app to get $50 of free play using code POKERPA. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 or over to gamble. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Safe Auto Insurance offers low down payments and flexible payment options to help their customers stay on the road for less. Play it safe with Safe Auto. Call 1-800-SAFE-AUTO.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia. A Beasley Media Group station. 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia. It's Wednesday night at 6. Time for beers with Bob from Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Located in the heart of South Philly. Game on. Now here's your host for Beers with Bob, Bob Cooney.
And a good Wednesday evening, Philadelphia. No Bob Cooney tonight, so it's, as Tyler Zulli, who's producing the show, said, alcohol with Andrew. No, it is still Beers with Bob. Bob Cooney on vacation, so I hope he's enjoying himself. He will be back next week. So his partner in crime, Andrew Salchunas, doing the show solo today here at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. This place is fantastic. You hear me talking about it all the time. You've heard me talk about me staying here a few weekends ago for my buddy's bachelor party. It's going to be the after party and the official hotel partner of FanFest, which is 1 month from today, exactly 1 month away. So we're looking forward to it. After parties are normally more fun anyway. Not that FanFest isn't going to be a blast, but let's face it. Tyler, you're getting married soon, and we'll talk about that. But the after party after the wedding is always a great time, too, because that's when everybody's already sloshed, and you just continue to have a good time. So I hope everyone can make it after FanFest here at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. This place is amazing. And start checking out your hotel rooms now, because now's the time to do it before it starts filling up. It's going to be a great time. 6 o'clock hour brought to you by Family Company Jewelers. Visit them on Route 70 in Marlton, New Jersey, or at FamilyJewelers.com. South Jersey's diamond destination. You can check me out there actually this Saturday from 1 to 2 for a FanFest ticket rate. And if you come by tonight here on set, Beers with Bob, we're right off of the 10th Street side of Live Casino and Hotel. I can give you pairs of FanFest tickets because I'm pretty sure we have some handy. I know Bob was hogging them last week, but I think we got some ready. So come check us out, hang out, stop by, say hi, and, of course, have some good times here at Live Casino and Hotel right next to the FanDuel Sportsbook. And speaking of FanDuel Sportsbook, and I know the last couple of weeks we've been doing the show, we've been talking about all kinds of stuff, but I really got my attention on the FanDuel app. And, of course, you can check out everything FanDuel related here at Live Casino and Hotel for the FanDuel Sportsbook. But I was looking at some lines, and obviously you guys know me all about the Chunas train, and I'm focused on the Phillies, and I can't wait for tonight's game because I think they bounce back. They are heavy favorites, minus 176. Ranger Suarez on the mound facing a player that nobody's ever really heard of, I would imagine, the starting pitcher for the Diamondbacks, Humberto Castellanos. So I would think the Phillies bounce back unless their lineup decides to only put together 3 hits again. I'll talk more about that later on in the show. But something that I want to look at, I was just curious to see, because I wanted to see what the line was for tomorrow night's preseason game for the Eagles. Now, I will tell you, I'm not touching preseason action, okay? A lot of people said that the Eagles were a good pick last week against the Pittsburgh Steelers because the Steelers had already played 1 week. I looked at it the opposite way. They had already played a week. The Eagles had not played a week. The Eagles were the favorites in that game, and I'm glad I didn't touch it. You probably shouldn't touch preseason football, but what you can do before the regular season starts is look at some future bets in the NFL. So on the FanDuel Sportsbook, I found something that was fascinating to me, and it was the division winners. And, you know, you look at the ones around the AFC, the Buffalo Bills, the favorite in the AFC East, the Baltimore Ravens, the favorite in the AFC North, which I still kind of question. I'm not the biggest Lamar Jackson fan. If you ever listen to me on with Anthony or on a weekend, I think Lamar Jackson is a very talented player, don't get me wrong, but it seems like come playoff time, guys have an idea on how to stop the Baltimore Ravens. So I'm never really a big Baltimore Ravens fan in terms of future bets like the AFC Championship game or the Super Bowl. But division winner, okay, Baltimore still makes sense. So I jump over to the NFC. And I was curious just to see where we're at now with the NFC East and the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles' win total this year opened up at 6.5. And on the FanDuel Sportsbook right now, it is still 6.5. The over-under for Eagles wins is 6.5. Minus 150 is for the over. So the over is getting the majority of the money. I look at the other teams in the division. Washington, over-under 8.5 wins. The favorite is the over for the Washington football team. Dallas, over-under 9.5. I actually think Dallas has a good season. I would look at the over. I think they get right to 10 wins, as much as I hate saying that, unless Dak Prescott has issues, which he might because he's getting all kinds of MRIs, and who knows how he bounces back after his pretty bad injury last year. But the Dallas Cowboys over-under is 9.5. The under's the favorite at minus 135. And then a team that I really don't believe in, and Tyler kind of feels the same way, we were talking about it before the show, is the New York Giants. And the New York Giants over-under in wins is 7. The favorite is actually the over. I think the New York Giants actually stink as a football team. But so 6.5 for the Birds, 7 for the Giants, 8.5 for the Washington football team, and then 9.5 for Dallas. So I go, all right, the Eagles shouldn't really have that great of odds to win the division, right? Wrong. You look at the division winners, the numbers. Dallas is the favorite at plus 130. The Washington football team second at plus 260. I know Anthony, my man that I work with every single day, 10 to 2, Monday through Friday. He's on Washington. I'm on Dallas to win the division. Then there's the New York Giants at plus 400. And not far behind New York at plus 450 is your Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I would have guessed that the Eagles would have the worst odds in the division to win the division, but at plus 450, that's not that crazy. Like the NFC North, the Chicago Bears have the third best odds in that division. They're plus 500. The Atlanta Falcons, third in their division, plus 700. I look at some of these numbers. The Arizona Cardinals, just because their division is stacked with San Fran and LA and Seattle, the Cardinals have the worst odds to win the NFC West at plus 600. So the Eagles, in terms of numbers, have a better odds to win the NFC East than a team like Arizona, who I think is a pretty good squad to win their own division. And I still don't get it. Because over and over and over again, I've kept on saying that 6.5 win total is perfect for the Eagles. And as we get closer to the season, each week, each day, it seems like there's more and more love for the Philadelphia Eagles. And it seems like it always surrounds Jalen Hurts. On Monday, I was driving home from my buddy's house, and I was listening to Devon and Tyler Zulli. And Devon Gibbons was reading us a tweet from Jordan Schultz of ESPN. Jordan Schultz went to Eagles training camp, and he walked away realizing how good of a leader Jalen Hurts is and how everybody's jumping on board Jalen Hurts within the Eagles. And I know they're not going to rip their own teammates, but apparently it was like, oh my God, there's a lot of love in Eagles camp about Jalen Hurts. And then today, this morning, Jay Glazer put out a very similar tweet, a guy who's been around the NFL for a long time. He took away how great of a leader Jalen Hurts is. Now, leadership qualities, I believe Jalen Hurts has. Like, I don't think Jalen Hurts is not a leader. I don't think Jalen Hurts is a guy that's a me guy. No, like, he clearly is a good leader. You saw it when he was in Alabama. You saw it in Oklahoma. So I think the leadership qualities are there. I'm just not sold on the talent qualities of Jalen Hurts. And I'm not saying that he sucks, right? I think he's a quarterback that could win you 6-7 games this year when there's question marks around the defense, question marks about still some of the skill positions. I know we're all excited about Quez Watkins, but let's see what he does come tape time during the regular season. Same with Jalen Reagor. I know he went viral with the ridiculous catch that he made 2 days ago in practice. It was ridiculous, the catch he made. But let me see him do it during the game, because he did not flash last year. I know he was hurt the majority of the year, but he was out there. He made 2 plays. One was on special teams, the punt return for the touchdown. The other was the, over the middle. Well, 3 actually, because there's one down the sideline that was thrown perfectly by Jalen Hurts. But then there was one over the middle where Jalen Hurts catches it and runs, but he didn't even have this blinding speed. Like, he got caught. So, okay, I'm excited. Jalen Reagor had that nice catch that went viral. That's cool and all, but I look at this team and I still have my question marks, and I still have my question marks with Jalen Hurts as the starting quarterback. Like, I don't have question marks if Dak Prescott is healthy. I don't really have many question marks with Dak Prescott and the skill players that they have, right? I talk about Jalen Reagor, and I have question marks surrounding Jalen Reagor. I don't have question marks surrounding all of those wide receivers that Dallas has. I question just how talented the Eagles' defensive front is. I don't question Washington's defensive front. Washington's defensive front is the best in the division by far. And then New York, so what, they have the best running back, I guess? Saquon Barkley over Ezekiel Elliott? Sure, we'll have that conversation. I mean, I don't really believe in the New York Giants. But I look at these numbers, plus 450 for the Eagles. And as a betting man, right, you look at that and you go, wow, for a team that has been picked by so many people to come in last place, those are pretty good odds. Now, it's a value bet, right, because you could have a more sure bet like the Buffalo Bills in the AFC East. But you look at what the Eagles are doing and the love that they're getting, more and more love after every single day. Every single week in training camp. Zach Berman was on with Anthony earlier today. I heard how Zach Berman was saying how Jalen Hurts has improved every single week. How Nick Sirianni as a head coach has seemed to improve players on a given night. Like, it's been incredible, the positive responses, the positive reports that I've been seeing from local guys, national guys, the way players have been speaking about camp. It seems like everybody's on the same page, and it seems like things could actually go well. Now, I don't believe it. 6.5 wins is still the total. I might lean toward the over. Like, I think that is a perfect number. But when I say over, I mean 7, and that would be 8 at best. I still don't think they are a plus 500 team. I think they are a sub 500 team with 17 games down the season. I think the best they go is 8 and 9, which could get you third place in the division because I don't think New York's all that good. But I found that very fascinating. Now, Tyler Zulli is back at the station producing the show, also getting ready for Devon. And sorry, Tyler, I didn't do the whole chinking glass thing. I'll leave that for.
Well, we still have it if you'd like to use it.
All right, you know what?
Just do it. You gotta try to remember the script as best you can.
So I've been
Bob
with
says
Bob
something very specific.
Yeah, he does. I've been with Bob for a while now. Beers with Bob used to be on Tuesdays. Now it's on Wednesdays. So here, let me see if I can do this right. You know, just grab yourself your favorite beer, your favorite cocktail, glass of wine. Sit back and listen to Beers with Bob Cooney. Myself, Bob Cooney, would I say it that way if I'm trying to script Bob? And Andrew Salchunas. And sit back, and as my parents used to say every single day, or in today's case, Wednesday, happy Wednesday.
That was pretty close. That was pretty darn good there, Andrew. Well done.
I listen to the guy that I do the show with. I would hope that's what most people do. I would hope that most people listen to the person that they do the show with. So I'm glad to hear that I got that pretty damn close to Bob. Maybe we'll send him that audio, and maybe it'll put a smile on his face, even though I'm sure he's having a pretty damn good time.
Oh, he is already. I assure you, he's already.
A couple beers deep?
Done the glass sound effect at least once or twice today.
Do you think that started about 12 hours ago?
I don't blame him. I would, too.
6:13 vacation? Why not?
Well, and you figure
he's on the morning show.
That's what I mean. You get up that early. You know, even vacations, like 7 o'clock you wake up?
Yeah, exactly. So why not? That's sleeping in for him. So, Tyler, the NFC East numbers. Plus 450 for the Eagles. Still the worst odds in the division. But don't you find that number surprisingly low?
Yeah, it's kind of strange. When you told me that, right before you said, hey, here's the number, I would have put it probably at like a plus 600, a plus 650, based on the two outside factors. It's not that this team is dreadful. I don't think they're going to be good, but they're not. I think they're going to be, compete in most of the games that they play. I think the two outside factors is they don't have something that the two top teams do. And that is either a solidified quarterback like the Cowboys do in Dak Prescott and a pretty good offense to go with it, or B, in Washington's case, an elite, and I believe it to be an elite level defense. I don't think the Eagles have either of those things, so to be that light, I don't know if it's the strength of schedule. I don't know if it's the belief in Jalen Hurts. I'm not quite sure what it is for Vegas, but while they're still in fourth, that's a pretty low line.
Yeah, it's crazy. Now, it makes me excited, though, because I go, that's interesting, because if you do think about all the other factors, right? So I'll do this for a second. Now, my man Aaron on Twitter, Dallas fan? Sheesh, I didn't know that about you, Andrew. No, I'm not a Dallas fan. I'm just sorry for speaking objectively.
I mean, I'm taking Dallas to win the division, too, if it makes you feel any better.
Yeah, I mean, look at the offense that they have, and their offseason was not rocket science. It's, hey, our defense was absolutely historically dreadful last year. We need to improve the defense, and look what they did. They attacked it in the draft. They attacked it in free agency. So, no, I'm not a Dallas fan, as I'm currently sitting here wearing an Eagles hat. You can watch me on YouTube. That'd be gross if I was a Cowboys fan wearing an Eagles hat. But I just don't really believe in Jalen Hurts, the quarterback, that much. I will tell you, I believe in the Eagles' offensive line when healthy. When healthy, I think they're still a pretty damn good offensive line. The only problem is it's been a while for guys like Lane Johnson and Brandon Brooks, and Jason Kelsey's contemplated retirement for the last 3 years. I still have question marks at the left guard position, and I'm a big fan of Jordan Mailata. So I like 4/5 of the offensive line when healthy. When healthy, I think the defensive line still has something to it. Like Fletcher Cox, obviously. Javon Hargrave had a good second half of the season last year. Josh Sweat, Derek Barnett is guys that can sort of cycle in through the games. Brandon Graham was fantastic last year, especially in the first half. I think you made some very professional signings. I'll give Howie credit for this. I'm not a big Howie Roseman fan, but he made some professional signings in Anthony Harris to play the safety position, Stevie Nelson, the second cornerback spot. But then after those guys, the depth is weak. Like Michael Jaquette was your third-string outside corner last week, and you saw him getting beat up pretty easily early on in that preseason game. I'm not a big Jaquette fan. I didn't like him last year, and I don't like that he's one of your top options if Slay or Stevie Nelson go down, and that's terrifying to me. But when I look at this division, I go, okay, so yeah, there's obviously question marks surrounding Dak Prescott's health. If Dak Prescott goes down, what makes me think that they're not the same bad team as they were last year, where they had to throw out Ben DiNucci at points because their backup got hurt? When I look at the Washington football team, that defensive front is scary. It's fantastic. As you said, we think this is an elite-level defense. But what has told me that Ryan Fitzpatrick could actually play a full season? Like, Fitzpatrick has always been that guy that starts the season for his new team 2-3-0, and I go, oh, that's cool, that's a nice story. Then he wears the crazy shirts, and they're halfway unbuttoned, and the chest is out, and everyone's like, oh, look how cool Ryan Fitzpatrick is, Fitzmagic. And then he goes like 1-7 the next 8 games. So why am I supposed to believe that Ryan Fitzpatrick all of a sudden is going to take the reins for an entire season where he is actually the starting quarterback for once? It's not that he's a bridge for once. He's actually the starting quarterback of the Washington football team. And then I just don't believe in the Giants. I don't. I'm not a Daniel Jones fan. I don't know about Joe Judge as a head coach. We'll see what he does. I think that defense is actually okay in New York. It's not the best one in the division, but it's okay. So, Tyler, when I lay out all those things, it's easy for me as an Eagles fan to point out the good things, but also the bad things. When I look at the bad things within the other teams of the division, I don't think it's crazy to think that nobody's running away with it. Is it crazy to think that?
I don't think I'd call it running away with it. I think I would call it almost like a 2-tier system, where I think that the Cowboys in Washington are on a substantially different tier than the Eagles and the Giants. And so is anybody going to run away with it? No, probably not. But I think you split those 4 down the middle, and you've got the Eagles and the Giants fighting for 3rd and 4th, whereas you've got Washington and Dallas fighting for 1 and 2. And, it could go in any of those kind of...
But do you believe in Ryan Fitzpatrick?
Believe into what?
To be the quarterback of a team that gets to the playoffs.
I mean,
that defense is ridiculous. It is. Don't get me wrong, and he might not have to do all that much.
So let me ask you this. Last year, from what you were able to watch, who had Miami in a better position to succeed, Fitzpatrick or Tua?
Fitzpatrick by a long shot. I also don't believe in Tua Tagovailoa. I don't think he's a good quarterback.
I have to assume, with the additions that they made, bringing in Curtis Samuel and the offense having weapons and the defense being good, he's going to be tasked with don't turn the ball over a ton, don't make a ton of really costly mistakes, and help us win a game. Don't win a game. You don't need to go off on some kind of crazy tear, but help us win games. And when you compare, when you have McLaurin and Samuel and Antonio Gibson coming out of the backfield now in his second full season, it's a good team. I think that Am I ready to say that they're going to win the division? No, because I think Dallas is probably going to win the division, but it's a toss-up. Like, if you say it's going to be Washington, I'd go, okay, makes sense.
Okay, so let me ask you something. This is how awesome FanDuel Sportsbook is, right? So I'm just going through all of the NFL bets that I can possibly make, and I didn't think, Tyler, for a second that this was a bet that I could make, but now, because I should have thought it because FanDuel Sportsbook is that great, I found the odds for the exact finishing position of the Eagles in the NFC East.
Okay.
So I could see them doing better than the Giants. Like, I really could.
Yeah, me too.
I don't think the Giants are that great of a team. So the Eagles to finish first, plus 450, as we talked about. To finish in second is plus 340. But if you think they finish in third place, you can get them at plus 210. That's a nice little payout, man.
Yeah, I'd probably consider that. I assume fourth is the least, right?
Yeah, it's plus 150.
Yeah, I'd probably consider the 210. And because it's a little bit of a better payout, I believe that New York and the Eagles are interchangeable for third and fourth. So I might as well take the opportunity to try. Because if Jalen Hurts plays well, Nick Sirianni coaches well, I would think that they finish with a better record than the Giants. The non-similar games, I think, are going to play in favor of the Eagles with Detroit and with the Jets and those kind of games. I think that's where they have to separate themselves from New York if they are to finish in third compared to fourth.
Okay, yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting. And that's how awesome FanDuel Sportsbook is. And, of course, FanDuel Sportsbook is the presenting sponsor of Beers with Bob, More Ways to Win, and also Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia, the official hotel partner and after party of 97.5, the Fanatics Fan Fest 2021. And that's where I'm at right now. You hear the music in the background? That's because I'm at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia for Beers with Bob. No Bob Cooney tonight. He's on vacation. He will be back next week, so don't you worry. Tyler Zulli back at the station, so he'll be chiming in as well throughout the entire show. So thank you, everybody, for joining the first segment so far of Beers with Bob here at the Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Coming up next, I want to get into some Phillies betting, but also the Phillies in general, because you guys know how I feel about this squad. I love them. I absolutely love them, and they are driving me crazy. Losing to the Arizona Diamondbacks last night, a team that doesn't even have 40 wins on the season, which is ridiculous. They were 38-81 going into the game. They got win number 39 last night when they beat the Phillies, and it's not like they beat them in a wild 9-8 ball game. No. Kyle Gibson did what he was supposed to do when he came in here. Quality starts, six innings,
the good news is, Andrew,
runs. Yeah.
The good news is they only have to win 42 more in a row to finish 500 on the season. So things are really looking up for the Diamondbacks.
They're heating up, that Arizona team, after that big win last night. So Kyle Gibson does what he needs to do, and the bats do nothing against another slop arm. Like, I can't believe it. They only have 3 hits, and one of them's a solo shot. That's Bryce Harper. His 22nd home run of the year. He now has 20 solo shots, which is a ridiculous number. So we'll get into the Phillies a little bit. I'll give you the lineup for tonight's game. They got to pull out a win because you cannot, not in a pennant race, lose a series to a team that doesn't even have 40 wins past the midway point of the month of August. So Andrew Salchunas here at Live Casino and Hotel, and you know what? You got to see this place. I am telling you, Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia has changed the game in the Philadelphia Stadium District. This is a world-class gaming destination with over 2,100 brand new slot machines. There are over 150 table games. They have a luxury hotel and 5-star accommodations. And I can tell you with experience that this hotel is fantastic. I stayed here a few weekends ago with my buddies for his bachelor party. So shout out to my man Jack. We had a great time. The hotel was fantastic. It was clean, right? We're still dealing with COVID. Every single room was spotless, and we had a great time. The rooms were great. And then obviously you just come down the elevator and the party is going all night long. And of course it's close to everything else in South Philly, right? But if you don't want to leave, don't worry, because this place has cool bars and world-class restaurants. The food we tried here was spectacular. Whether you're looking for fine dining experience at the Prime River, if you want to just experience the flavor of Guy Fieri's taco joint or his burger joint, it's all here. And truthfully, anywhere that offers a chance to place a bet with FanDuel Sportsbook while enjoying a cannoli from Termini, come on now, on site right here at Live Casino, it's a winner in my book. Luxury hotel, gaming, bars, and restaurants in the heart heart of South Philly. To view upcoming events and promotions happening at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia, just visit livecasinophilly.com. Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Game on. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Beers with Bob.
Presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. More ways to win.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-546-1987. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-546-1987. That's 800-546-1987. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Men, it's summertime. And if you're like many men today, you have been cooped up, maybe put on a few pounds, and probably haven't been getting the exercise you need. But if you're feeling sluggish and just don't have that youthful energy anymore, you very well may have low testosterone. Low T causes many issues: reduced libido, low energy, bad sleep patterns, problems with muscle gain, and more. If this is you, it's probably time to get treated for low T. This is Dr. Avidan Appel from Iron Mountain Men's Health. At Iron Mountain Men's Health, we treat men every day for low T. We see them put on muscle, add to their energy, improve their sex lives, get better sleep, and just feel better. You will see positive results in just a few weeks. So make your appointment today with me, Dr. Avidan Appel, and see if testosterone therapy can change your life. Visit us online at ironmountainmenshealth.com. That's ironmountainmenshealth.com. Iron Mountain Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health.
Okay, let's play a little game. How many pairs of footwear do you think Skechers has sold? 100 million? 200 million? 500 million? Not even close. Schunak the Magnificent? Over 2 billion with a capital B. Why? Because so many people worldwide have discovered that with every pair of Skechers, comfort is included. So once they try them on, they fall in love with the comfort. Then they get another pair, and another, and another. And how does Skechers include comfort in every pair? By being a comfort technology company and putting comfort innovations in every nook and cranny of their footwear, with features like air-cooled memory foam, hyper-burst foam, breathable knits, ultra-go cushioning, and more. And comfortable fits like relax fit, stretch fit, wide fit, seamless fit, arch fit with expert-certified arch support, just to name a few. So if you're looking for stylish footwear that doesn't cost a fortune and feels like $1 million, get yourself a pair of Skechers. Because no matter what pair you choose, you can be guaranteed of one thing: they'll be comfortable right out of the box. Find them at Skechers.com, a Skechers store, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
How can I make sure my office never stops working?
With Staples Connect, it's possible.
I need to keep my back office stocked without messing up my bottom line.
Also possible, because Staples Connect has your small business covered with big savings on everything you need. This week, earn 30% back in a Staples store bonus when you spend $85 on ink or $200 on toner. Explore what's new at your local Staples or staplesconnect.com. Staples Connect, the working and learning store. Limit 4 in-store only. Visit staplesconnect.com/store bonus for details. Ends 8/21.
Congratulations to my man, Anthony! That's right, Anthony Labruciano. Recently named the Contractor of the Year. It's like the MVP award. If your roof's looking tired, maybe there's a small leak, or your windows are drafty, not keeping the cool air inside where it belongs, or your siding's old, cracked, or showing signs of mold, don't worry. Call my friend Anthony Labruciano, the Shingle Master. You'll have an expert who's proud of every single job they do, including yours. Labruciano Roofing Exteriors, 610-265-ROOF or PARoofPros.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Dashboard light problems? We can help. Our free Fix Finder service can read your check engine light, ABS light, and service indicator light, and give you possible solutions, verified by licensed technicians. You'll even get detailed results sent straight to your email so you have them when you need it most. It's the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes. The free Fix Finder service, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
More details at AutoZone.com.
Life is already full of surprises, but your tuition shouldn't be one of them. While education costs rise in the U.S. every year, University of Phoenix is committed to protecting you from rising tuition costs with our tuition guarantee. we lock in your tuition, so you can count on fixed, affordable tuition from the moment you enroll to the day you graduate from your program. Learn more at phoenix.edu.
Well, even in preseason, football fans can take it to the extreme with overeating and drinking. Now, if you're dragging from the game, feeling just gross from beating up your body the night before, you have to do a juice cleanse with Squeeze.com. Squeeze.com will flush out your system. You'll have more energy, feel less bloated, sleep better, and it'll kickstart you to a healthier lifestyle. Just go to Squeeze.com and order same-day delivery. That's Squeezed.com, the best juice cleanse on the market.
Goodyear believes in the power of moving forward. No matter if it's on the track, the court, or the field, movement makes us want to be more. It pushes us to go further, to show the world what we can do. Movement has the unique ability to change our perspective, to challenge us, to work for a better tomorrow. Movement can even bring us together when we're still. Because if we're focused on the next move, we don't have to worry about what's behind us. Goodyear, more driven.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get in on the action. Well, no more, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide, with plans starting at just $35 a month with no contract. And get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for only $299, all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required, actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Now, back to Beers with Bob.
Presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. More ways to win.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Welcome back, 631 Beers with Bob. No Bob Cooney tonight. Myself, Andrew Salchunas, live at the Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia, which, of course, is the official hotel partner and after party of 97.5 The Fanatics Fan Fest 2021. I'll tell you more about that in a few seconds. Of course, Beers with Bob also presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. More ways to win. And we're going to get into the Phillies this segment. The Phillies on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Heavy favorites, minus 172 down just a tick. It was 176 at the beginning of the show. Now minus 172. Ranger Suarez, who's been okay since getting into the rotation. Hopefully Girardi lets him go a little bit longer than he has been. I know the pitch count has been increasing. I don't really want a limit at this point. I mean, you're not in a position to be limiting pitch counts. You're not in a position to be worried about starts 2 weeks from now. All right, you need to start winning games now. The bats need to come to life today. I'm going to give some lines for this game itself, but I do want to let you know about FanFest. As I mentioned at the beginning of the show, we are 1 month away from FanFest. It is August 18th right now. September 18th is the day of FanFest. I can't wait. It sucked last year because of COVID. We did not have FanFest, and I missed it, man. I had a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun every single year. Each year has only gotten better. Of course, you need a ticket to get in. We do have some opportunities for you to get tickets. You can check me out this Friday, B&B Beverage from 4 to 6 in Doylestown for an in-person ticket raid. Saturday 1 to 2, I'll be at Family Jewelers, so you'll be able to go there. And, of course, you stop by here at Live Casino Hotel on Wednesdays. Bob Cooney and I will be handing out tickets to anybody who stops by. Just keep on listening for more special announcements regarding FanFest, which is presented by FanDuel Sportsbook and Live Casino and Hotel. And it's the official after party right here at Live. And as I've said over and over again, this place is spectacular. I will continue to say over and over again because I had such a great experience that I don't want to stop talking about it. A couple people actually came up to me after my bachelor party weekend with my buddy's bachelor party, and they said, "Really, was it really all that great?" Yes, no, it was, because it was such a great place to be, such a great spot to be able to go all over the place throughout the city. But in general, just hanging out here, like we didn't have to go out, right? Like at one point we looked at the time and hours had gone by because we were having so much fun here between the games or just sitting in the sports book, right? We hung out. There's a Phillies game being played. The Olympics were still on when we were here, and we just sat in the sports book and we had a bunch of beers. We did the beer tower. Had some great food. The food here is spectacular at the Sportsbook. I didn't get a chance to check out Guy Fieri's stuff, but I'm going to have to do that after FanFest. But everything at the Sportsbook, all the food there was fantastic. We got the giant plate of nachos. You can't go wrong with that, especially when you're just sitting back and hanging out. So come check out Live Casino and Hotel, whether it's on a Wednesday during Beers with Bob or on a weekend or any other night. You need a place to hang out, especially maybe before a Phillies game. They're out west right now in Arizona, but when they're back home, it's a good place to come and hang out prior to a Phillies game. So speaking of the Phillies, I just mentioned it, minus 172 tonight. Ranger Suarez on the mound, and now I have to talk about the Phillies because they broke my heart again yesterday. And I'm not jumping off the Tunis train. The Tunis train keeps on going. And I'm glad that Tyler is producing the show today because Tyler and I have had a lot of good conversations regarding the Phillies. Tyler has been hesitant to jump on the Tunis train. The last time we talked about the train itself, Tyler told me that he was walking to the train station. He was in no rush because I told him that we're like Scepter, right? We keep on going back and forth. We won't miss your stop. Don't worry. So if Tyler's not there, we'll just keep on going. So Tyler, I want to hear where you're at now. Are you still walking toward the train station? Are you walking back to your house, or are you kind of like making a pit stop? Maybe you sat down somewhere to get a breather. Where are you at right now?
Yeah, I'm probably in the same spot because when you
haven't moved for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I guess I had to go get some food, hang out, got to go shopping. I had to come here a couple times, so I got delayed a little bit. But
you got busy, yeah.
What the thing is with this team, the 8-game win streak I think propelled a lot of people back either further on the Tunis train or back to the Tunis train. And it's great the fact that they had the 8-game winning streak because it has put them in a spot to compete for a division title down the stretch. And then you have the Giants series, which you and I talked about. We talked about, everybody has talked about on this station, that really the hope was to win one of three because, the Dodgers, not the Giants, the Dodgers series, because they are a substantially better team and they are, in fact, a World Series competitor, if not a favorite at this point.
You mean the team that won it just last year?
Yeah.
And people panicked after they lost the first 2 games, and I was like, are you shocked?
Yeah, just wait. But you have that team, and if you can win one of 3, that would be successful. And then you've got the Reds series, and it's not to say that the Reds are not a good team but believe me, they are, and they're in competition for a wild card spot themselves. But the way that everything played out, you were hoping for 2 out of 3 because you get Wheeler, you get hopefully Nola continues the trend of better starts than he's had in the beginning of the season. So the way that series played out kind of perturbed me a little bit, and then the beginning of this series last night really felt embarrassing because of the fact that not just was it a 38-win team, but you had 3 hits. It felt lifeless.
Well, yeah, and you just came off that Red series, which I said at the beginning of the week on Monday when they were off before that Dodgers series started, Anthony and I were hoping for 3-3, but I kept on saying, don't be surprised if they go 2-4 because that was either getting swept by the Dodgers and then you take 2 of 3 against the Reds, or you win 1 in each series because the Reds, and I know you and I talked about this, the Reds offense has been on fire. They're a 60-plus win team. They got a good squad, and that's a hard team to beat. Now, the most shocking thing about the Reds, not losing 2 of 3, was that the one they won was Matt Moore, who goes 6 shutout innings, 6 no-hit innings, strikes out 8 batters, still had a good pitch count. Girardi pulls him. Maybe it was the right decision. Who knows? Obviously, it worked out. They ended up winning the game, so I don't think it could have hurt him either way he went. But the one game you win is the game that I thought was a lock for them to lose.
Yeah, the one you expect to lose.
Exactly. Now, the Nola thing, I don't know. It's a toss-up at this point. But then for Wheeler to get beat up a little bit, Bamboo Brad made that boneheaded play, not sprinting to the first base bag when he fielded a ground ball. Whether it was miscommunication between him and Wheeler covering the bag, doesn't matter. You can't let the guy who hit a chopper to the first base beat it out. And then eventually Wheeler has to now pitch out of the stretch. He gives up the home run. Not that that should be an excuse, but when a guy's grooving an entire game and then a bad mistake happens like that, puts you in a bad spot. So, I mean, I wasn't freaking out after going 2-4, and I'm not freaking out today, but I couldn't help but be extremely, extremely disappointed because you did just go 2-4. This last night should have been the part where you go, all right, let's get back to our winning ways. Not, hey, we lost, but we could still take 2 of 3 against the Diamondbacks. Like, I'm not saying I needed a sweep of Arizona, but come on, you can't drop game 1 of that series. Like, you just can't drop game 1 of that series. So hopefully
You've now put yourself in a bad spot because now you have to win the final 2. And, with the understanding that, again, it is a team that's still 40-plus games under 500. And I do expect them to win tonight and tomorrow. But now you put a pressure on yourself that you absolutely have to win the final 2 because you can't lose this series, especially with the Padres looming at the end of the week.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. Yeah, you're right. And that's the big thing, right? The Padres, they're not going to go easy on you, especially because you surprisingly took 2 of 3 against the Padres earlier this season. This was before the Phillies got on any bit of a streak. That's actually what started them, right? Because they took 2 of 3 against the Padres, then took 3 of 4 against the Cubs, then took 2 of 3 against the Red Sox heading into the All-Star break. The surprising series was that series against the Padres because they were still playing well and they were still healthy. Fernando Tatis coming off the injury. He's already a freak at this point. So it's not going to be easy playing in San Diego, a team that is red hot, that a team that everybody's on, especially since Fernando Tatis has come back. It's going to be interesting, and I don't think they're going to get lucky to see Jake Arrieta. Did you see what Jake Arrieta did today?
No.
Oh, he got beat up early again.
Oh, wow, what a surprise.
Yeah, he got pulled, I'm pretty sure, after 2 innings today.
It kind of amazes me. I said that when he was released from the Cubs that I thought his Major League career might be over.
Oh, I thought so too.
You know, maybe you think that a team that is in need of an arm down the stretch just to give you innings would pick him up, especially a bad team. You know, like maybe not Baltimore. Baltimore's probably a bad example because I don't think he or the team wants anything to do with the other. But, you know, Arizona, a team like Baltimore, Detroit, right? Just a team that's looking for somebody to eat innings for the remainder of the season. I'm shocked that San Diego, of all teams, was the one that said, hey, come on down. We'll give you a chance.
Yeah, he 3 1/3 innings today, Tyler. 5 earned runs for Jake Arrieta's debut.
That means the ERA probably went down.
Yeah, it may have. It may have his debut with the San Diego Padres. Now, this is when it tells you you're not having a good year as a starting pitcher. So you know how when you just Google, like, Jake Arrieta and it pops up the overview and then you can click on stats next to it?
Yes.
When I click on stats, his batting stats come up. His hitting, not even his pitching stats.
What's he hitting, like 112?
He's hitting 130.
There you go.
So his hitting stats are actually coming up ahead of his pitching stats. Like, I just searched Aaron Nola just to make sure Google wasn't, you know, on drugs or something. No, if I hit stats for Aaron Nola and he's not having a good year, his pitching stats come up. So Jake Arrieta having that bad of a year for in general, the Chicago Cubs at first and now the San Diego Padres. So the Phillies, Tyler, do you still feel good that they could win the division right now?
That they could? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, they again, I'm not a big strength of schedule guy because, as you found out last night, you still have to win the games. And
yeah, you could be a bad team too.
Right.
You have to win the game.
Like, baseball to me is probably the closest of that whole strength of schedule thing, right? When you get football, even though it's one game, strength of schedule in the NFL, if you got an 0-14 team going up against a 12-2 team, the likelihood is the 12-2 team is going to win. The NBA is the biggest example of,
right.
You know, if you have the strength of schedule, you got to take advantage of it. In baseball, there are too many contributing factors to a game. How many pitches does this guy throw? Umpire consistency. You know, just way too many things to figure out to say that strength of schedule is going to be that big of a convenience for you.
Yeah, a pitcher could have a bad night.
Sure.
Like, it's possible.
But you have to take it a little bit and say there are 2 series against the Diamondbacks. There's a series against Baltimore, another one against Pittsburgh, more against Miami to come. You have to take advantage, but you believe that that's going to work in their favor. So, yeah, I think that they do still have a very legitimate chance to win the division, even though they are, 2.5 games back now?
Yeah, and so the reason why I bring that up is I'm on the FanDuel Sportsbook app right now. I'm looking at the division winners. I'm looking at the futures for the divisions. And the Phillies at plus 200 makes sense, right? That makes sense to you. But the Atlanta Braves, Tyler, have now jumped to minus 175. That's a little high, no? Like, I know the Atlanta Braves have a pretty deadly lineup. I still question their rotation. I still question their bullpen a little bit. But when you base that strength of schedule stuff and you base the fact that the Phillies have been playing better, since the second half of the season, I can't believe that the Braves are that high. Minus 175.
I don't think it surprises me. And the reason that I say that is I don't think that it's necessarily that they believe that the Braves are some world-class team by any means. I think that they truly look at this Phillies team and say they're about as inconsistent as they come. Yeah. And if this thing continues to spiral much longer, the Braves have an opportunity to really put some distance between themselves and the Phillies, and that might be able to help them lock it up. So while you and I think that the Phillies still have a chance to win the division, I think Vegas is certainly leaning the other way.
What's absolutely crazy is that just a few weeks ago, you could have gotten the Phillies and the Braves at plus 600, right? They had the Mets as minus money, right, to win the division, which was ridiculous to me. So we could have gotten, if we invested. We could have gotten a nice little payout with either the Phillies or the Braves because you could take both. You can. Speaking of ridiculous odds now, Tyler, do you remember? I'll pat myself on the back here. Do you remember probably a month and a half?
Credit?
Yeah, of course. Remember about a month and a half ago or 2 months ago, Vlad Jr. was still the favorite to win MVP, and you could have gotten Shohei Ohtani at like plus 300.
Sure.
It's now minus 1,100 for Shohei Ohtani to win the American League MVP.
Yeah, and that's where you come into the conversation of, like, is MVP best player or is MVP most valuable player, right? Because Shohei Ohtani's team is going to miss the playoffs.
Yes, they are.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s team is still very much square in the hunt.
That's true.
So, you have that conversation of, does Vlad get the edge? If the numbers are similar, does Vlad get the edge if the Blue Jays make the playoffs and the Angels don't? Or are you just saying that Ohtani's numbers, because of the fact, and I believe Ohtani to be the best player in baseball right now.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's doing both, have separated himself so much.
He's still pitching ridiculously well. Right? Like, it's not like he's like all right, let's go out and watch Shohei hit and pitch today. So he'll have an ERA of 5 and then maybe hit a home run. Like, no, he's still pitching well, which is just ridiculous. Which is why, it's an interesting debate because if Ohtani's not on that team, they're still not making the playoffs. Even with Ohtani on the team, they might not make the playoffs. But I got to give it to the best player at this point. It's a debate that will go on forever.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? Because we just did it with the Sixers and Joel Embiid this past season. Joel Embiid clearly was the most valuable player to me, not only because he had such an incredible season, but they were a 500 team when Embiid was out,
yeah,
so they were
9-11.
Yeah, so they were most likely a 6 or 7 or 8 seed in the Eastern Conference, or they were in that weird play-in tournament last year between seeds 7 and 10. If Joel Embiid if he doesn't play, if he's not on the Sixers, and with him, they're the top seed. Right, so I guess because it's that much of a drastic difference, which is why I would go not just because of how talented he is and because he was the best player in my opinion, but also that much of an impact. Like, I mean, Jokic, obviously, if the Nuggets didn't have Jokic last year, they still wouldn't have been good. So I get it, but I don't know. Like, to me, Joel Embiid, it can go any way. Every single year, depending on how you feel and depending on how much of an impact that person makes. But for this conversation, for Shohei Ohtani, he's got to win MVP in my eyes in the American League. It's not really worth betting it at this point because minus 1,100, you're not going to be looking at. But if you could have gotten that at plus money like a month and a half ago, you'd be feeling pretty good right now. So the Phillies game in general, I'll pull up the starting lineup for you guys. Obviously 9:40 because they're out west. We got lucky for people that like to actually go to bed at a reasonable hour, like myself. We got lucky with the West Coast trip because the hours are actually not that crazy. They have the 2 9:40 games. Yesterday they played at 9:40, and that game felt like it was never going to end, even though it was only 3-2. Tonight's 9:40, but then it's a 3:40 first pitch tomorrow because it's the final game of that series. And then the Padres, 10:10 is late, but it's a Friday night, so we can deal with that. Saturday's 8:40. That's not bad at all. And then Sunday's game, the final getaway day for the Phillies that day, is also at 3:40 like tomorrow's game. So actually, we lucked out that it wasn't like one of those Giants-Dodgers 6 games and all of them are at 10:15 and a lot of people don't watch any of them. But tonight's game, the starting lineup for the Philadelphia Phillies, Herrera leading off in center field, Gene Segura, Bryce Harper, your 2-3 hitters, Real Muto in the 4-hole. Didi Gregorius batting 5th, McCutcheon 6th in left field. Still kind of waiting for McCutcheon. It's going to be tough. He was on fire before getting hurt. He's had a couple of nice hits since he's come back, but still waiting for that McCutcheon. If he can get hot again, I think that's going to be huge. Brad Miller batting 7th in playing first base. Ronald Reyes batting 8th at third base, and Ranger Suarez on the mound. It's crazy to me. And Tyler, I want to get your thoughts on this because as much as we've ripped Joe Girardi this year, and I think he deserves a lot of the criticism that he's got this season, I do give him a lot of credit for ripping the Band-Aid off, I guess you could say, that he's not starting Alec Bohm. Because I feel like there's still this sense of, well, you know, you should just play him because maybe he can hit a home run for you. He's been so bad defensively this year and his offensive numbers haven't come close, even close to making it worth putting it out there. I kind of have to give Joe Girardi credit for sticking with Bamboo Brad and Ronald Torreyes over Alec Boehm. Don't you, Tyler?
Well, and I've seen the argument that, you're going to stunt the growth of a young player by all of a sudden him, losing playing time. And
yeah, but you're trying to win a division. I don't care about
right,
growth.
and that's the problem is that, and the comparison a lot of times over the last couple of seasons just within this team is Scott Kingery, right? It was an everyday player, and then down the stretch you got guys like Asdrubal Cabrera came in to take some time and all of that.
Yeah.
And then, quite frankly, Joe Girardi's job is to win games, and
yes.
to win games right now, I can't have somebody who's a butcher in the field. And, he's hitting 290 over the second half, I believe, something along those lines, which is substantially improved over what it was in the first half. But it's not enough still when you look at the totality of his stats to say that this guy has earned the opportunity with a team that's chasing a division title to play every day. Now, Brad Miller over the last week has also been pretty bad. But I think right now, especially with Hoskins out, Miller at first, Torreyes at third is your best option.
Yeah, I think so, too. And, I got to give Girardi credit for doing that. Speaking of Bamboo being bad, you want to hear some ew numbers? I read this earlier today on the midday show. Matt Gelb tweeted this out this morning. The last 7 games, here are your position players and their numbers. Bryce Harper is hitting 211. So somehow he has a 1.080 OPS because he's still on this ridiculous tear with the power numbers of 632 slugging with that 211 batting average. Didi Gregorius is hitting 269. The best batting average over the last 8 games is Ronald Torreyes at 280. But then you have Segura at 214. Odubel and Travis Jankowski both at 222. Alec Boehm 111. JT 158. Brad Miller and Andrew McCutchen both hitting under 100. Brad Miller, as you just mentioned, has been struggling. 0.095, 0.091 for Andrew McCutchen. So those guys are all struggling right now over the last 7 games for the Phillies. They need to get something going today. Probably a bullpen game for the Diamondbacks. Humberto Castellanos is getting the start. He has made 1 start in the last 7 games, but it looks like he's just more of a reliever. I don't really have the scouting report, Tyler. I apologize on Humberto Castellano. But in 8 games this year, he's only thrown 15 2/3 innings. So I don't think he's going to be really going all that deep tonight. So the Phillies probably facing a bullpen game. They got to get to it. If you want to bet the first half, because it doesn't look like he will be going all that long. The Phillies' first half money line minus 176, but I think they have to win this game handedly today. So I would actually look at the run line. Phil's run line is actually only minus 102, so it's not the best of odds. So if you want to go with an alternate run line, let's say you think the Phillies can win by 3 runs. If you take the Phillies at minus 2.5, plus 152, so a decent payout. I would take a look at that because I think they should take care of business tonight, or we're going to have a much, much, much different conversation tomorrow because they cannot lose 2 straight to the Diamondbacks. Beers with Bob, presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. More ways to win. I was reading all my lines on FanDuel Sportsbook today. And, of course, presented by Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia, the official hotel partner and after party of 97.5, the Fanatics Fan Fest 2021. Make sure you stay tuned. Coming up next, Devon Givens will be on from 7 until 10. You've heard Tyler on with me throughout the show. He will be on with Devon as well. They'll be talking about all kinds of stuff. I love being able to drive home from Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia and listening to Devon. It's always a great time to head back. Robert Grussman, great job as always. You are the man engineering here on site. Tyler back at the studio. One more time, let me tell you all about Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. You've got to see this place. I am telling you, Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia, they've changed the game here in the Philadelphia Stadium District. This is a world-class gaming destination with over 2,100 brand new slot machines, over 150 table games, and they have a luxury hotel with 5-star accommodations. And I can tell you, based off experience, it was such a tremendous time. The rooms were awesome, the atmosphere all throughout the day, and of course late in the night because we did the bachelor party. It was a great time. This place is awesome. Cool bars, world-class restaurants, whether you're looking for fine dining experience at the Prime Rib, or if you want to experience the flavor of Guy Fieri's taco joint joint or his burger joint. It's all here. And, of course, I told you about the FanDuel Sportsbook. We hung out, sat in the nice leather chairs, watched some games while we were here, and the food there is spectacular as well. You got termites here, so you can eat a cannoli while playing on some games. It's fantastic. Luxury hotel, gaming, bars, and restaurants all in the heart of South Philly. To view upcoming events and promotions happening at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia, just visit livecasinophilly.com. Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Game on. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Beers with Bob.
Presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. More ways to win.
On 97.5 The Fanatic.